Hello Cancers and welcome to Embrace the Moon Tarot and your March 2018 reading. I am doing the four corners of our universe, the mind, the physical, the emotion, and passion or spirit. Present energy and strength and possible obstacle for the month. As I was shuffling, I was kind of tapping into a little bit of a sense of kind of stealing my thunder feeling. And it has to do with perceived notions of emotions. And I feel it's just completely related and it's superficial at best. But it just has to do with how other astrological signs are suddenly being dubbed as the ultra feeling signs. And for whatever reason, just kind of popped in my head about how, cancers are about feeling. And it's, like I said, it's superficial, but that was kind of the energy that I tapped into. And I think it's just one of those things that is probably happening in fleeting moments of slight annoyance. But it's not something that you're actually allowing to impact your feelings, because they have as the present condition here. It's just happiness. And I feel that overall, a lot of the actual things that might spur that momentary reaction of, no, Cancer is all the feels, when you see that other signs are saying this sign is all the feels, no, this sign is all the feels. Feeling all the feelings, always being overwhelmed with all the feelings, even though you have those moments where you see those posts, you're like, no, Cancer's like that. It's not really actually impacting your emotional state on a broader spectrum, because there's just this overall sense of, even though you do feel all the feelings, for whatever reason, you're kind of on an upscale right now. The vibrations are high. Emotionally, you have this overall sense of, even if you're feeling whatever it is that you're feeling, you're not allowing it to overwhelm. You're not dwelling on it too much. You're not allowing it to impact emotional reactions right now. For whatever reason, we're kind of beginning the month of March with this kind of upscale, a rise in energy, kind of a better steadiness of emotion. And so our reactions are kind of being interlaced in with that. And that's just the current energy that it seems like the beginning of March is starting with. And it's predominantly the first week of March and the second week of March. It's still going to follow through the rest of of March, but that peak that you're feeling at the beginning of March, of that kind of contentment of not being impacted emotionally with reactions like you may usually be when these situations occur, whether it be the one that I gave, that I tapped into, or other ones that are similar or not similar whatsoever. That peak of calm and harmony that you're feeling is at its peak at the beginning. And then some of that's going to start shifting slightly during the second and third week of, towards the end of the second week of March, towards the third week of March. And it's not that it's going to be horribly sad or anything like that. It's just that, the height of the vibrations that you're experiencing in the beginning of March is its peak, its climax, so to speak. Mentally, I'm getting confidence in your skill set, whatever it is that you have been working on. And this doesn't necessarily mean business or career oriented, although it can have career inflections. I feel this is deeper than that. So this is just kind of a self-confidence. And this is probably where that peak vibrations of harmony that you're feeling, that is allowing you to not be overwhelmed by the typical emotion ebb and flow that you usually react to or respond to. So there's just this confidence that you have internally that's kind of bubbling up and rising and is really impacting the reaction, the response that you're having. And it has to do a little bit with just self-connection. So there's just some self-realization that has been reached regarding how you perceive that inner part of you, that core of yourself. And as a result of that, it's kind of giving confidence of letting you be a little bit kind of at home with who you have always resonated as a presentation of yourself. And a little bit of that's coming forward. And like I said, it's just kind of creating this ripple effect of confidence mentally, and it is going to be kind of coming out in other aspects of your life. And like I said, and that's influencing that peak sense of harmonious feeling that you're having at the beginning, and that's going to kind of go through the rest of March. Physically, we have the Death card, and I just feel that this specifically says there are ties that you have connection with that you are definitely going to be finalizing and walking away from. So in the grand scheme of things, this is a good thing. It feels like a lot of you have some things that you have had sitting in front of you for a while, and you have been really looking at on a deeper scale and trying to figure out how you can make it. No, that's not right. Let me reword that. You've recognized aspects of your life that you have been for a while now contemplating walking away from. A lot of it feels relationships. A good deal of you, it has to do with relationships. So there's specific ties that you have with people or groups of people that you are recognizing that you have outgrown, and it's time to move on. And this feels very much around the third week of March. The third week of March seems to be a big week in as far as movement and changes and shifts for everybody. I feel like I've said that over and over again in multiple videos, but you just kind of get to a point where you come to a very direct conclusion, and it's going to be so direct that you're going to be able to follow through. You're going to have a desire to follow through. That's going to give you that confidence to go ahead and see it through to the end, walk away, whatever it is that you need to walk away from. And sure, there'll be mourning, because we always mourn everything that, you know, we even if we know it's not good for us anymore and we have to walk away from it, we still mourn the transition. There's still a mourning period within the transition, but overall it just feels like this has been a long time coming. You've already been mentally, even if on a subconscious level, preparing for this particular end and release that you're going to come up on. So much so that it's going to be very direct. The decision is going to be very direct. It's going to be done with a lot of clarity, and you're going to do it, and you're going to actually follow through with it. And it's going to go a lot smoother than maybe prior similar situations, just because of how direct it is and how it's been such a long time coming, and how you have, like I said, on a subconscious level been preparing. But it's something within the physical realm, something that makes up your universe as you know it right now, your personal life as you know right now, that you are going to be directly making a decision of cutting ties and moving away from. And a lot of you, it has to do with relationship, and it just feels like it's either a specific person or group of people that, like I said, you've outgrown, and you're sad that you've outgrown it, but you are not going to hold yourself back for having outgrown it, and you're going to be ready to move on. So then in the emotional status, I think as a result of this, like there's a nice little ripple effect, and as a result of this, we have the star within the emotional status. So emotionally, and this ties in with that confidence and how it's kind of feeding you emotionally, that's what's actually going to be helping you feed that direct decision that you're going to have as far as being ready to move on. So the star sits within the emotional status, and emotionally, I just feel like there's going to be an overall sense of hope, and it kind of is tied in with that concept of you know that you're being guided in the right direction, and you believe that you're being guided in the right direction, and you're not going to play a part in feeling overwhelmed at all. There's not even any thought process of being overwhelmed. Like this is such a clear-cut decision, and such a clear-cut point of direction, that it's almost like you're being guided by this star, and you're just going to go with it. And as a result of it, there's going to be this confidence that resides within your heart that is just dawned on you from this sense of hope. So that whole concept of wishing star, the North Star being a guiding light, like that's just really residing in that pocket emotionally, that's really helping to build how you feel about yourself confidently, and it's playing a part in your emotional status, it's playing a part in your confidence, so mentally how you perceive yourself, how you're perceiving the world around you, and what it is that you're ready to walk away from. Because of all this ripple effect that's going to it's just a beautiful ripple effect that is going to just trickle through the month of through the month of March. And then in the fire, in the passion realm, we have the Three of Wands, and it just comes, it's all going to come together with this whole idea of you're going to have an understanding of what it is that you want to have come together. It's not so much that things are all in a row, like your ducks aren't necessarily all going to be in a row, but you can see those ducks coming towards you, and you know you're prepared to take action when they come within reach to help them line up as you need them to line up. So it's like I said, it's just this nice ripple effect. And even though that peak harmonious feeling of happy and harmony and peace that you have in the beginning of the month will be at its climax at the beginning of the month and start to wane. The only reason why it's waning is because now, instead of just riding the wave of this glorious happiness that you're surrounding with, it's going to come with this desire to make some shifts. And so that does kind of create its ripple effect. You know, it disturbs that peaceful, calming waters that you see before you, but it's in a good way, and it's going to create this ripple effect that will allow you to get to a point where that you'll have this drive, and it's all going to feed off of each other. And eventually, like I said, it's not that all the ducks are already available in a row, but you can see them in the horizon, and you are prepared and ready so that when it comes close enough that you can grab it and help to get it in the position that it's supposed to be in the row, you are ready. You're ready to take action. The strength is the confidence. The confidence and the ripple effect this confidence makes is going to be what's really helping to get that ripple effect, to make the changes, and to flow out into the month of March as you want it. It's going to just be the fuel to your fire, the fuel to your passion. It's going to be that heat that allows that burning star to be the guiding light that you need, which feeds the emotional status, which feeds your mental clarity and confidence that you desire, which feeds the desire to make the changes and the shifts that you need to walk away from so that you can see what is coming towards you on the horizon that will allow you to grow into, out of what you're in now, into what you desire and what you see is potentially available to you if you just are prepared and ready. And that's your strength. Knowing you're prepared and ready, know that you're fully capable, and just riding the wave from the ebb up to the peak climax, and then the ebb down where you have to start taking action to prepare to do with whatever it is, the energy that is available to see this to fruition, whatever it is that you see that's on the horizon. So you are your own strength, knowing that you have it in you to see this through and having the desire to follow through. The potential obstacle is the Eight of Cups. And if this is in relationship with that death card that sits within the physical realm, your universe, and it has to do with what it is that you're going to have to walk away from. And because of it, like I said, when I was reading the death card in that position, you have the potential of kind of tapping into recognizing the loss and needing to mourn from it. And so there is a potential obstacle for some of you where you might ride that part of wave that creates mourn a little longer than you should, and potentially get yourself into a bit stuck of a whirlpool. If we go with that whole concept of calm, peaceful waters, and then the ripple effect that takes you to the action into the horizon, allowing you to ride the wave and do with that energy that the wave creates, what it is that you want to see through in the future. If you kind of go with that mindset as far as the water is concerned, the ride or ripple part that is allowing you to desire that direct approach of releasing and leaving what it is that you know you've outgrown. If you ride that need to mourn it too long, there's just a potential of getting kind of caught in the wake and getting a little tossed about a little bit more than you really want to, or realize that you were getting tossed about than before, you get to a point where you get kind of banged up a little bit more than you had planned or prepared for. So just know that it's okay to mourn that loss, that leaving, that release that you're going to go through. There's nothing wrong with it. It's part of the healthy process of moving on and expanding and growing, to see what it is that we're losing and to mourn it appropriately. So there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't get too caught up in it. Don't get caught off guard and be knocked about. Ride with it as you need to ride with it so that you can continue to protect yourself but still stay on top of the water, so that you can ride that ripple effect to the next ripple effect that'll take you to the end of the month. So just be very cautious of that you are mourning, but you also are still managing to walk away when you're supposed to be walking away, when you know you're supposed to be walking away. And you'll know. You have that guiding star within the emotional status that'll help you to tap into what it is that you need to tap into to walk away, to ride that wave as you need to keep your head above ground or above water, but also get you to that end where those ducks are waiting on that shore, where those ducks are ready to waddle up, and you can hurry up and catch it and line them up for you so you can take action and see this through to the end. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a little extra something. We'll see what it gives you as far as whether it's just encouragement or a mantra, but I'm going to go ahead and finish shuffling. Prometheus, gifts of humanity. I feel this is really just connecting into that, those human emotions. And I feel that this is directly connected to that, recognizing the need to mourn and release with that death and Eight of Cups that's in your potential obstacle. That when we feel these emotions, they are a part of humanity, but they're some of the greatest gifts of humanity, because that helps us to connect to our heart and our soul, but then it also helps us to better connect to other people. And these are all lessons that if we seek the right guidance within ourselves, or connecting with higher power, universe, deity, whatever it is that you connect with for strength and guidance during these different occurrences, if you connect with them and allow them, it helps you to expand and grow. And ultimately, I feel that is the greatest gift of what the March has to offer you. Is an opportunity to grow to the next level and getting that point to where you're preparing yourself and are ready for what you see on the horizon that's coming towards you. And it's not so much that you have to go out for it, it's actually coming towards you. But when you get through to the other side of whatever it is, when you get to where you're lining up all those ducks, there's a better sense of understanding and connection on a heart and soul level as a result of it. So sometimes that emotional connection that we have with humanity helps us to be a better human to ourselves, and then eventually to others, especially when we are the type of people who like to give in that way to others. So ride these waves, ride this ripple effect. Try not to get too caught up in being bounced around, but don't avoid the emotional aspect of it too. Recognize it, validate it, honor it, and then move on. Because this is going to be a gift to yourself. And then as a result of it, the gift that you give yourself in this process is something that's going to give you tools for further on in your future, whatever it is. And apparently a lot of what it is that you're working towards and working through emotionally is connected to whatever it is that you see on the horizon. There seems to be a very large emotional aspect as far as offerings that you'll have to give. So what you're going to experience is going to give you in an abundance so that you can give others in the future. All right, Cancer, that is all I have for you for this month. I hope you have a good one. Make it a great March, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.